Hey everybody, it's Daniel Sky. Hey, I just got back from Nashville for a month. Slept in my car at first, then I got an Airbnb, and then I finally got a room to rent. I was there for 6 weeks. So this video is on how to make money writing songs. As a professional songwriter, or if you've just got one song you think is real special, how to get that to your favorite band or artist and make some money when they record it and it's on the radio. You sell some records. So if your dream is to make money as a songwriter, write songs for a living, Nashville is a good place to go. You could also go to LA, but in LA, you're not likely to, when you go to get coffee, have your bistro also be a songwriter, somebody who actually might have a publishing deal as well, possibly. Chances of meeting other people are much greater in Nashville. Plus, there's open mic nights where you can play the songs you're working on and be seen. You can hook up with other songwriters who already have publishing deals and people who are going to listen to your song. So this video is not about how to write good songs, great songs. You really have to be able to write great songs if you're going to sell them. Has to be as good or better than anything on the radio right now. Do you have to live in Nashville as a songwriter or LA? Short answer is no, and we'll cover the alternatives. Main reason to live in Nashville full time is if you wanted to work full time as a songwriter. It's what they call staff writer, and you would literally get a salary to do nothing but write songs all day long. You can also be a freelancer, which means pitch one song at a time to your favorite artist. But let's first talk about landing a full-time job as a songwriter, which is likely to be in Nashville. First, how does a publishing deal work? Publishing companies are those with a lot of connections that know what type of song an artist that's currently on the radio is looking for. And if you're working for your publisher, they're doing the work for you by telling you, hey, we need a song for so-and-so. Can you write us a song for that? Or, hey, we already got this song that you wrote last month or last year. That's great for this artist. We know the artist. We're going to pitch it to them now. They're taking care of that part of the work. They're going to take 50% of whatever money the song makes. You, as a professional songwriter, get a salary. Now, how much is that? At first, I used to think I heard word of mouth. It's like something like $1,000 a month. I can't really live off $1,000 a month. The truth is, it could be $5,000 a month. Comes down to negotiations. You basically add up how much you need to live, your car, your house, your food, and then tell your publisher, hey, you think I write great songs? This is how much I need per month. Sign a contract for a year. Typically, you have to give your publisher 10 to 12 good songs every year, one a month. The publisher has to accept them. You can't just write a song every day and be done in 10 days. Publisher has to go, these are great songs. The publisher is going to take those 10 best songs and pick which ones they actually record a demo for. So demo is where you bring in the full band, make it sound good. So when you try to sell the song, it sounds good. You don't have to pay for that, your publisher does. Now, cool thing about Nashville is they're used to chugging out what are called demos. A demo is this is how the song sounds with the full band. If someone chooses it to record your artist that you're trying to pitch it to, they're going to re-record it with their own band or another studio. A demo is a way of demonstrating how it might sound. Now, when I got to Nashville, people would ask me for some of my songs that are on Spotify. They'd ask, where's the demo? Where'd you record the demo? But there's no demo. Shania Twain never had a demo that you just record. The word demo really only exists in Nashville because it's machine. I mean, you can go into a studio and for about $750, get a full band on the track, drums, bass, guitar. Whereas in LA, that might cost you twice as much because you're hiring individual musicians. In a place like Nashville, a studio will have basically a house band to play your song, and that's all they do all day long is play and record it. I'll put vocals on it. Difference is you have to, when you publish that, say it's a demo, and you can't use the demo as the final recording if you decide that you want to keep it as the final recording, unless you pay more. So back to how to get a publishing deal if you want to write full time. One is you co-write with someone who already has a deal. You see them at an open mic. They play their songs in a writer's round. You play yours. They like your stuff. You like them. And you go, hey, I'd like to write with you. You guys write a great song together. If their publisher likes a song, publisher's going to want the rest of the pie, your half of it, and they're going to approach you to sign a deal for that song. How do you be seen? Go to every open mic you can in Nashville. Now, mind you, open mics in Nashville aren't like elsewhere where you don't want to get up there unless you have a really good song to play. You'll probably only get to play one song. Play it original. You want to play the song you've been working on, the song you think's great, so people can see it and go, hey, I want to work with you. The Bluebird's a popular place. Of course, you've seen it on TV. To play at the Bluebird, all you have to do is every Monday night, go on their website and basically buy a ticket to your own show. There's only so many tickets sold for people who want to do the open mic, and it literally sells out in about 30 seconds to a minute. And if you get one of those tickets, there's no charge. You get to perform one song. Also, the Bluebird has a quarterly audition where you can actually do the same thing. Try to get a ticket to the audition. If you get to the audition and they choose you, then 6 weeks later, you'll get to appear in one of the regular writers' rounds and work your way up, be seen. You play your best song, not just a country song. It could be any genre. Now, there are other ways to pitch individual songs. Now, let's say you're anywhere else in the world, or you could be in Nashville too, anywhere else in the world, and you just want to pitch one song at a time. There are a couple of organizations that can help you with that. Taxi is one. I personally don't like Taxi. We'll take your money kind of thing and never really pitch songs to people. Songtown, which was formed by some Nashville hit songwriters, is a good place to meet people. And there's an Edge group in Songtown, meaning if you audition in Songtown, you can join an Edge group where once a month you actually get to pitch to publishers the song you're working on. If they like your song, they might sign you a one-song contract. Now, in terms of the whole bigger picture, whether you live in Nashville, LA, or wherever, one of my first Airbnbs that I stayed in Nashville when I, in between sleeping in my car, I'm upstairs looking around the poster and the decor, and I'm like, wow, my host must have been a rock star, like a country star. He was nice enough, gracious enough to invite me down for coffee one day because I told him, hey, I'm come to Nashville sleeping under my car, trying to figure out how things are done. He's like, oh yeah, come on down, Daniel, for coffee in the morning, and I'll give you the scoop. Here are the two strategies he told me to do. Number one, find somebody who's up and coming, the next Taylor Swift, the next Morgan Wallen, and write with them before they become famous. Imagine if you had written with Taylor Swift before she became famous. All of your songs, you'd own half of the royalties. How do you find that? That's the tricky part. And if you do, those are going to be in Nashville. So you've got to live in Nashville, go to the open mics, see these people perform, and just go, wow, there's star power. I'm going to start writing with them, and then hope they write with you. That's one way. The other way, write a song custom made to your favorite band or artist and somehow get it to them. Now, the writing the song is kind of the easy part. It's not easy. You got to write a great, great, great song and record a demo probably so they can hear what it's going to sound like, but with a real good voice and a really good band, a real good guitar. So the demo is going to cost you probably $750. And you got to get it to them. I wrote a song for Morgan Wallen. If any of you know, he got in trouble for throwing a bar stool off the top of a roof of his buddy's bar. Came close to hitting a police officer on the street. Now we all make stupid mistakes, so I wrote a song called Break the Rules. Sometimes we do stupid things. Most of the time we follow the rules. Some rules are meant to be broken. It was a lighthearted song, kind of put a twist on getting in trouble, and I thought it would work for him. So look, how do I get this song to him? Same Airbnb host suggested. Get it to his manager, cozy up. To which, if you go to Nashville, it's not like the old days where you can just walk down the street, knock on doors, and try to sell your stuff. Tens of thousands of people try to do this every week. The doors are locked. And even if they come to open them, you're going to get the secretary or the security. You won't get in the building. I know because I tried. I've got to try, even though people tell me this isn't going to work. The term in the industry is unsolicited material. Unless they ask for you to send them a song, they're not going to listen to your song because they worry about you suing them. So it's flat out, knock on the door, we don't care. We're not going to listen to your song. I was staying downtown, and every morning for coffee, I happened to walk by Big Loud Records, which is his record label. I've got to knock on the door. So one morning, got the gumption, walked past the office. There is a gate around the parking lot. To my luck, someone was coming out of the gate, kind of like the pool gate, where if you want to get the swimming pool at the hotel and you're not staying there, someone's coming out coincidentally, you grab the gate and step in like you belong there. I asked the person coming out, I'm like, hey man, I'm new in town. I don't know how things are. I'm probably just, being silly about this, but I just came down to meet you guys. I think I have a good song. I'm not trying to pitch it, but I just want to make friends, introduce myself. And he was like, I'm just security. I've got someplace to go. As he was leaving, I grabbed the gate, slipped inside the parking lot. Now I just got to go up the front door. Bonus, at that moment in time, the water boy was wheeling up on a dolly bottled water, delivering bottled water. And I thought, I'll be nice, hold the door open for him when he gets buzzed in. And then after he wheels the water in, I'll slip in and just make like I belong there, walk down the hallway and see who's in their office. Didn't work out that way. The water boy didn't get in either. As soon as the door did buzz open, I pulled it open, and there were two big men there with tattoos, put their arms out in front, like, don't cross the line. Now, they were real cool and non-threatening. I gave them a spiel, like, hey, I'm new in town, don't know how things work. When I gave up, finally, they smiled and said, Daniel, you did better than 1,000 other people did. The answer is no, no unsolicited material. Now, how do you get paid if you did happen to get a song to somebody and they did record it? Well, first of all, you would want to register yourself with what's called the Performing Rights Organization. There are 3 of them in America, and there are different ones in Canada and other countries. Every country has their own. These are basically the mafia. What they do is if you own a bar, a restaurant, a coffee shop, and you're not streaming music, you actually put a CD in the record player. Or if you own a radio station, you have to buy a license. You're not just allowed to play Tom Petty on the radio at your coffee shop because you have the album, unless you buy a license from one of these 3 organizations and the one that the band that you're playing belongs to. You may need to buy 2 or 3 licenses to cover everything, which is why small coffee shops who can't afford the license, which could be a few $1,000s a year, they'll tell you if you're open mic, only originals, because they can't get in trouble for you playing originals. But if you play someone else's song, you're supposed to have a license. So these organizations collect money from the bars, the restaurants, even the ice capades, the movies, anyone that plays the music. And they keep track of which songs by which artist and how much money in licensing they collect every year. And then they divide it at the end of the year between how many times compared to the Rolling Stones and whoever else is getting more plays than you, send everybody out a check. And if you had a publishing deal, you would split that with your publisher. The other way are mechanicals. They call mechanicals for CDs that are actually printed or records, vinyl. The rate is 9 cents per song. If you're the only songwriter and you're not splitting with your publisher, you would get 9 cents for every single record or CD put out for each song. But back in the day, when there were 12 songs on an album, 9 cents a song, and even if you split that with your publisher and it's 4.5 cents, print 1,000,000 copies, you're doing pretty well. That's pretty rare these days. But those are mechanicals. And then there's the music collective licensing, MCL.com, which is brand new. They just made a deal with Spotify, Apple, all the big players. In exchange for not suing them, all these big streaming companies send money to the pot, which gets divvied up in a similar way. And then, of course, there's syncing. If you try to sell your song to a movie, TV commercial, really tough to do. You got to get it to the music supervisor that's making the film, or filming it, and they're looking for music. So you got to know someone ahead of time, know what they're looking for, and very competitive. So this is for songwriters. If you're a recording artist, then you're going to use Sound Exchange to look for your royalties from streaming. So in conclusion, if you want to write full-time for others, full-time, and you have the chops, then you want to move to Nashville, play the open mics, the writers' rounds, co-write with as many people as possible. You may literally need to write with 100 other people to find 20 or 30 that you're comfortable with and that are good, kind of like dating, and then write a lot of songs. Or your alternative is to write a custom song for an artist you love, but then you got to get it to somehow. And back in the day, you would literally maybe slip a CD in their mailbox, but since everyone's streaming now, you can't really do it that way. And they're not accepting unsolicited material and they're not really going to listen to your song. So it's kind of tough. You kind of got to cozy up with them first. One thing I haven't mentioned is song libraries. Song libraries, there's a ton of them, only a few good ones. Where it's free, you can upload your song and it goes into a library and by keyword and tempo and vibe. Is it sad, happy, fast, slow? What genre is it? But the libraries are stacked with gazillions of good songs. So your chances of even being heard or discovered pretty low. But a lot of people do that, and you probably heard some people have success with it, but that's not really productive use of time, probably. Now, as they say in Nashville, it all starts with the song. So go write some good songs, some great songs. I'm Daniel Sky. We'll see you next time.